Good evening. Troublesome Pentium 2. When I say troublesome, I don't think there's much wrong with it. It's a weird issue that I've not seen. Oh, hopefully there's nothing much wrong with it. But I'm just running a RAM test, obviously. You saw that in the starting soon screen, but yeah, funny issues like when I was installing Windows. It got to a point really early on in the install, long story short, where you couldn't click next or continue OK or whatever the button would be. It just wasn't there. And I tried even ME, so it was Windows 98 second edition that it did that with, and it did the same thing with ME, and so the consensus was check the RAM. And I'm checking the RAM now, although when I did drag this, so it was quite a while ago that, well, when I say a while ago, it was probably a few weeks ago that I was having that issue, and I just put it aside and got on with other projects. But in getting this machine up and running tonight, it was flaky booting, even just posting, and so I reseated and cleaned the slot for the CPU and messed around, and it turned out that it needed the RAM reseated to get it to go properly, to get it to post consistently, and that was the thing that did it, cleaning the RAM slot, cleaning the RAM edge connector, and away it went. And so I thought, well, I'll just run the RAM test, and it's been running. So it's on its second pass at the moment. So I'm kind of hoping that all it really was the RAM. Maybe last time it was just borderline enough to get it to post, but it wasn't quite enough to make it install Windows. We'll soon find out, because I'm going to try and install Windows First Edition. The other thing that makes me wonder about it is I actually had a compact flash card from my other Pentium 2, which is, where's that now? My Pentium 2, where did I put that machine? Oh, it's Fat Boy here, Fat Man. The computer the computer under here, Fat Man. I had an image on a compact flash, and that's what you can see just sitting there. That compact flash card had an image of the first edition install that I did on this machine just recently, and so I plugged that directly into this other Pentium 2, the one I'm sitting on top there, we're working with today, and it actually booted. Like it booted and started to find hardware. It's a different chipset, so it got hung up on the Busmaster IDE controller, and so but you know, it kind of proved that it was working. And then I did a reboot, and it had a Windows general protection fault, which you kind of expect if the IDE driver's not happy and it's got a different chipset and all that, you know. So that's where I'm at, and I'm thinking, now that the RAM is testing fine, I might just go through the process of the Windows 98 first edition install, and just see how far we get, and see whether we have the same issue. I think that's 4.3 gig max Tor. Nothing fancy, but good old spinning rust. And we can boot from CD, this machine. It's a bit fancy. Although I suspect that this bloody DVD drive's not a happy camper. It's kind of got a bit of a mind of its own, hopefully. Yeah, I think this optical drive's not a happy camper. Hoping I've got something else. Oh yeah, I can see a couple of options there. Hey Mev. Yeah. I've turned the noise cancellation off on this Rode, on my lapel Rode mic. I was just sort of listening back through the stream, one of my streams the other day, and I think the noise cancellation is actually, and it's the janky bloody OBS noise cancellation, so it's nothing flash. And it just sounded like, I just found I was hard to hear. And I mean, that seems to be a reasonably consistent sort of issue from time, well, you know, happens from time to time. And I'm wondering if it's the noise cancellation, because I have been using this mic a bit more lately just to allow me to walk around and you can still hear me, whereas the other microphone that I've got, the Audio Technica, is, yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I think the noise cancellation was sort of almost muting part of the, you know, when you first start talking, it was kind of muting. It seemed like it was muting that first initial. Is that needs to be set to slave, because I am slaving this one. Actually, if I found another cable, I could not slave it. Yeah, I just got the feeling that bloody noise cancellation was causing some trouble. So you'll hear all sorts of stuff in the background, and you'll get a bit of an idea as to how some of these hard drives sound. Now, I'm pretty sure you were around for this, by the way, last time. And did you catch what I said before about the history of this board? There doesn't seem to be any level control in OBS. It's you turn noise cancellation on or you turn it off. And so, yeah, that's not ideal. So, you were definitely on the stream when I was having issues with this. It's a Pentium 2 I was dealing with a while back. And the crux of the issue was tried to install Windows. It got to a point very early on in the install where there was no button to say next or go, you know, do your thing. And I actually think it was you, Mev, that suggested that I should check the memory, which is exactly what I've done. And it's passed the memory test, but there's a caveat. Yeah, that one. The issue I had today, because it's been a while since I've, had this out, and it's kind of loose. It's not in a case or anything, so it's just, loose on my. It's on Fat Man. That's my build bench at the moment, Fat Man. And so I just grabbed it, chucked it on there, powered it up. Had trouble booting it. Long story short, after resetting CPU and dicking around, I had to reset the RAM, clean the slot, clean the card edge on the RAM, and just to get it to post. And away it went. So I'm wondering whether, when I was dealing with it last time, maybe it was just borderline, like it was enough to post, but something was not quite right with the Windows install because of the RAM, Don't know, but I'm about to find out, because I'm just going to have another go at Windows 98 First Edition. And the other thing that makes me think that this might be okay now is the fact that I had an install of 98 First Edition that I used to get Fat Man up and running, and then I imaged that across to another drive for more permanent solution for Fat Man, and so that had an install on it, and it booted and found new hardware and did all that. It did fail in the end, but that's because of different chipset, different IDE controller, blah blah blah. But at least, it got quite a way into Windows before it started to detect hardware and all that stuff. Oh, it's 4.3. 4.3 gig, did I say? Yeah. Yeah, 4.3. That's right. Hoping it'll boot off that CD. Oh, First Edition. Doesn't boot off CD, does it? Will it? Oh yeah? Oh yeah. Cool. There's a partition on there, but I should blow it away, I think. Start fresh. And I think we ascertained that the hard drive is okay. It sounds it sounds borderline, and it's quite noisy. But I think those Mac stores were, like, even from the new, they were pretty noisy. Yeah. And so, I've FDIS'd it and formatted it a few times, and there didn't appear to be any bad sectors, so I'm fairly confident it's okay. Yeah, I guess they get to the point where the bearings just get, the bearings either bloody seize up or or they get slogged out or disintegrate or something. I've got some, oh yeah, yeah, and I bet that if the hard drive's not, you know, mounted, I'm assuming that the inertia would kick it around as well. Is that going to take ages? I should have probably just quick formatted it, eh? I think I'll quick format that. Oh, did it give you a kick? I bet. Oh, 7,000 RPM to 0 instantaneously. Yeah. Bugger, I should have just left it, shouldn't I? Oh well. We took it for granted, CD booting, eh? It's not until you go back and deal with some of these old computers that you realise that as things progressed, we, you know, kind of thought it was cool to start with and handy, and then you just took it for granted, as you do. And when you go back to it, sort of don't take it for granted so much. I probably will for a little bit, but yeah. Ooh, it sounds gravelly, but I think it's okay. We'll soon see. Yeah. Yep. Got a bunch. Got a decent stack. They're pretty full too. And those drawers you can pick up from op shops for nothing. They basically just give them to you, or they quite often out on the street in the free bin. I played this the other day. I think you'll know why. Oh, Roberta Flack, RIP. Reel to reel, sounds good too. Yeah, it sounds really nice. Yeah, what speed is that one? Yeah, that's 7.5 inches per second, that one. That sounds really good. You've seen some of these, I think. The one that surprises me, and because I'm not a jazz fan, but this one here, that's awesome. That's a 7.5 inch as well. 7.5 inches per second, yeah. It sounds nice on the reel-to-reel. Yeah. It's a good concert. It's surprising how good the reel-to-reels sound if you're not familiar with them. They're actually, you know, the tape hiss sort of gets drowned generally in the music. You can hear it if there's a quiet patch, obviously, but you know, what's a bit of tape hiss? I mean, when it sounds that good, the music sounds that good, it's, you know, just fades into the background. I'm not actually sure what I'm going to do with this Pentium 2 because I've got Fat Man, which is now actually a Celeron 533. I've got the CPU out of Fat Man just here. 233 Pentium 2. I'm not quite sure. I guess, well, I mean, this will make a good little Pentium 2, won't it? Now that I've no longer have a Pentium 2 as far as after upgrading the CPU and Fat Man, but yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'll just about be able to set up my own timeline. Like Carsinomi can pretty much do that, can't he? It'd be really cool. Wouldn't it be cool to set up, you know, like on a big long bench or something, is just have like a timeline of computers set up on a display that you could just walk up to and fire up and away you go. So period appropriate gear in them and have the period appropriate games and things like that. I'd love to do that. Yeah. Right, yeah. Yeah, at the moment, I mean, normally I've got 4 machines at least available to turn on because of the 4-port KVM switch. Oh, right. Just get them really drunk and just push them in there. Don't even bother dealing with it. Just get them really drunk, push them in. As long as it's like a sliver of floor space, you know. Yeah. Just throw them in the shower or something. No bad sectors that it's reporting. Speaking of Carsey, I suppose he's doing a workshop Wednesday tonight, is he? Yeah, it got cold here. It was about, well, it started off at 12 degrees this morning when I left, because I left quite early to get into town. Relatively early, it was like 7:30 or something like that. And then as it's getting towards Nelson and whatnot, and go up a little bit of a rise to get over down into Richmond and Nelson, got down to about 10, and it was bloody rainy and horrible. Mouse doesn't seem to be working. Yeah, so it's actually locked up here. Is this what it was doing? I thought it was getting further than this. Oh, that's because I've already created the Windows folder. I create the Windows Options cabs folder, and I copy all the cabs and set up files into the cabs folder. And when you run it like from there, yeah, it'll do that. So you just select other directory and you just wipe out the zeros and the dot. But I can't do a thing. Yes, this is what it was doing. Because I remember thinking, shit, is it the KVM? No, I do this all the time. I always do this. It works every time. Never had a problem with it. Could be worth, yeah, could be worth a quick check, yeah, for sure. Because I do remember thinking, oh, is it the KVM? And I plugged in yeah. It sort of feels like it's locked up though. Like I can't, if I tab, right, that selected Windows.000, you know, you'd normally be able to tab through. It's like it's locked. Numlock I can't turn on and off. A couple. How far did we get with this? It's a 1998 BIOS. Good question. I think we looked at this last time. I can't even remember what the board is. There's no markings on it. It's a bloody Edge special from back in the day. I think the model number is actually under the CPU, which is handy. Let's try your first idea of copying to C198 just to see what's happening there. Yeah. I had the same trouble when I tried a different drive last time. I could put that compact flash in. That's no worries. Let's just quickly try this. Pretty sure I tried different drives and we got to the point where we all sort of agreed that potentially the memory needed testing, which I've done. The other thing I could try again is actually, what is this? Is an LX chipset, isn't it? I could put an image of an operating system onto that compact flash and just see if it boots. I'll show you what it did there. And instead of installing the Busmaster yeah, I need to double check all that again. I'm pretty sure we went through that. Let's have a look. I'll do a BIOS reset. I just load failsafe. It's all slow, 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 slow. G'day, we'll see. How you going? We'll just UDMA support. No, I haven't. I wonder whether USB keyboard support, if I enable that and use a USB keyboard. But this sort of crap I've never had to do, just get Windows installed, eh? It's like, bloody hell. It should just, yeah, we'll try that, eh? Just troubleshooting a weird problem, Evil C, with this computer doing weird stuff when I try and install Windows on it. it just goes out to lunch. Like, it actually, it's almost like it locks up, isn't it? Because it, you know, the keyboard becomes unresponsive, and this is kind of like my second go at it. Actually, will it? No. At least it doesn't take long to exhibit the fault. So yeah, see, tab, no worries. No, I didn't do that. It's going to want to... Oh, you got SCSI drives. You lucky bugger. Don't like the look of that. It's locked again, I think. Oh no, it hasn't. It hasn't locked. Okay. No, I haven't swapped the RAM. This is getting further though. Now it's locked again. Yeah, I seem to remember it was inconsistent as to how far I got through the setup. Yep. Yep. Oh, do you? You know, I'm tempted to image that drive that I had for Fat Man. I think it's the same chipset. And I do need to work on identifying this board and getting a BIOS update in there if required. Yeah, the thing is, I don't know if I've got the RAM handy. Actually, I might. It's quite dirty, that one. But more like tarnished actually, those pins, rather than dirty. So it makes quite a difference. Right hand side's been cleaned. Not sure it'll come through on the camera very well, but you can see it's quite a bit shinier. Nicer. Well, that's a stroke of luck, wasn't it? I mean, that's, here I was saying I don't think I've got the RAM, and I picked up the bag and I've reached in and grabbed one piece of RAM out of that whole bag, and it happens to be the right sort of RAM. I mean, that bag is full of all sorts. All sorts of all sorts of goodies. It's quite normal for it to stall there. Well, you know, take its time. Locked again. I think the computer's actually locking up. No mouse, no keyboard. So it's like more like a hardware issue, I think, than a configuration issue. I'm going to image an OS onto a compact flash and see how it goes. That memory tester I've got is a USB bootable image. So you create a USB, it creates a USB stick, you know, and makes it bootable, so you can boot from a USB enabled bootable PC. And of course this is not USB enabled bootable, but I fooled it by imaged it. So I plugged that into my USB card reader, imaged the memory tester to it, and then plugged that into my compact flash to IDE adapter, and it worked. So if you ever got USB bootable stuff only, yeah, works perfectly. Yeah, I couldn't find a bloody CD bootable one. I had a really good look around, and yeah, it is an MTS 86 Plus, but I'd bugger if I could find the CD one. And I'm using WinImage here, so it's going to, I potentially have to sys the drive, which is no big deal. Actually, I've got an NT4 install that originally came out of Fatman. I could just restore the NT4 and just see what happens. I don't know. Just to see if it locks up. I mean, what have I got to lose? How long is that going to take though? That could take a while. That's going to take some time. I guess I could set up for, I was going to play a bit of Half-Life 2 as well, but I need to set that computer up. Might as well do that. Except I don't think my KVM cable is going to reach. Oh bugger. That one might though. Will it? Oh, it's about a foot short. Oh man. It's about 2 inches short now. I think the imager has failed. Yes, it has. I'll try a different disk. I've got a Windows 98 first edition from Fatman. I'll chuck that on there. That's a hell of a lot faster. Not quite sure why that NT4 image was so slow and then it just failed. Heaps quicker. I'm just going to go and grab a quick coffee. Right, that image is done. This will be interesting. So this has got a reasonably clean install of 98 from Fatman, which I'm trying to remember what chipset that board is. It's an LX board as well. Actually, yeah, it is. So one thing I noticed is I've got no mouse at this point, but that could just be it hasn't detected the PS2 port, I guess. Hey, Fat Pooter? Yeah, PS2. So in a nutshell, if you didn't catch it before, this computer is kind of locking during the Windows install, like really early on. Yeah, I was wondering about that. I would kind of expect it to be working here. So this is an install, reasonably clean install from Fatman, which is another Pentium 2 LX chipset. Pretty sure it's LX chipset. That is Fatman. That's an Asus P2L97. Don't ask me what this board is because it's got no obvious markings on it at this stage. I have to have a quick look at that. But so it almost seems like it's some sort of hardware issue. Seems to be fine in DOS. Like I had DOS 6 on it just to, you know, boot it, see if it was running. It seemed okay. I didn't try any games or anything like that. I didn't benchmark it or anything. So yeah, under a little bit of stress, it might just be falling over with Windows. I don't know. Yeah, so it's pretty much locked at that point there. I'm wondering if I turn the bus mastering off, if I just put it back to standard. Because it always seems to be... Is it? No, it kind of locks up at any time really during that 98 install, but it's always early. What I mean is you can get further, a little bit further sometimes, and yeah, so that's like, it's out to lunch, numlock's not happy, can't control alt delete. So that's on a different drive too. Yeah, okay. Yes, swap the RAM. And that's got the compact flash card in it now, as opposed to the 4.3 gig max Tor. But I'm wondering whether system video, I probably should cache system BIOS at least. I mean, this is in get it up and running, this is limp home mode. UDMA mode, I wonder whether I should disable that. IDE HDD block mode, I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, just to get this thing up and running, just to see, I don't know, could it get it up and running at least in Windows, and just then work on figuring out what's going to trip it up, one step at a time. Yeah, so that wasn't enabled. I've disabled the UDMA. I guarantee now I get like a Windows protection error, because this is what I tried earlier off camera. I do have another CPU. I could just whack another CPU in and see what happens. I mean, who knows? Oh. EMS dizzy on. Locked again. So every time it gets to here, pretty much this, so it just locks up, but only in Windows, and it locks when I go to install Windows as well, or ME for that matter. Tried RAM, messing around with the BIOS, tried different hard drive. Yeah, it could be, couldn't it? Yeah. That is a possibility. No, it hasn't, but no, I'm not sure I've got a promise ID. Updating the firmware, the BIOS has been discussed, but I mean, you should be able to. I've never had a computer that won't install Windows and have to upgrade the BIOS, you know what I mean, even if it's just to get it running. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be keen to put money on it, won't help. Have you? Okay. But what you got to remember, this machine was running Windows. I pulled it. Oh, hang on. Where did that come from? Yeah, it came out of. Oh, hang on a minute. No, maybe. Trying to remember where that board came from. It might not have even been a running system, so it could be telling crap. Yeah, but I need to identify the board first. It's got no markings on it that I can see. I think I have to pull the CPU to see what it's, to identify it. Probably identify. Can we identify it from the? Where? You mean in the BIOS string? Throw me a bone. Do you mean in the BIOS string? Chipset slot. I can't. It's locked up. The machine's locked. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, 82371. Yeah. So the BIOS boot up. We can probably glean it from there, can't we? But that's the IDE controller. I don't think that's going to tell us what the motherboard make and model is it? I don't know if it's a driver-ish. Well, I mean, as I say, I've never seen Windows fail to start up on a Pentium 2 LX motherboard because, I mean, if you can't install Windows, how do you install the driver? I don't know. But yeah, we can have a look at that. You know, it's kind of like seems to me a bit of a catch-22. Oh, thanks for that. Handy, handy. Let's have a look. It's from a different install. That's from a different machine. That I couldn't, so I can't install Windows on it. So I imaged an install that I had from Fatman, which is the same chipset. It's an LX chipset, and that's where it gets to, and then it just locks up. So, yeah. Is it the latest BIOS? I think we did a BIOS update on it when I was originally having trouble with this. Yes, that looks like... Yeah, that is the board. That's definitely the board. Different machine. Xeon, it's a different machine. Different board. This I was working on maybe a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And we got you. I'm sure. No, yeah. I think you were there at that stream as well, where it was locking. The power supply is a good known power supply, like I've used it on other machines, but that's not to say that there's something on the board that's upsetting things, eh? There's only one jumper on the board that I can see. JP6, I think, from memory. Oh, yeah, there's a jumper manual there. There's not much, there's no mention of what JP6 is for. I mean, JP2. Do you think I should just pull the battery? I can't see anything specifically in those manuals about... Actually, I should have a look at the main manual. Oh, is it JP6 CMOS clear? Okay. So, remove the battery. Yep. Okay. Thanks. JP6. I can see JP6. Pretty sure that's JP6. Yes, it is. Alright. And it's... There's a battery. And jumper it. So JP6, what, just pull the power cord? Yep. I'll hit the isolation switch there. leave it for a bit, eh? And so turn it on with JP6 jumpered. Do I reset the jumper before I turn it on? I think I do. Power it on without the battery. Okay. That's powered on now. It's actually booting. Oh, yep, there we go. Default's loaded. So I'll do failsafe and then optimal. Okay. I'll just leave that as is. Okay, just remind me of that if you wouldn't mind. Let's just see what happens here. Bearing in mind that this is an install off another. No, but it's the sort of thing you've got to do, eh? The other thing I could do is, I mean, it's unlikely, right, that it's faulty CPU, but I've got another CPU right here, identical. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, the Windows protection error, I kind of expect to see that. I could try safe mode. Alice is in here. What are you doing? She ran in, sniffed at something and ran out again. What about safe mode? I mean, that's something to try, isn't it? Nothing. Can't tab. No mouse. It's interesting, isn't it? I'm not going to spend too much time dealing with this. Yeah. I've got other Pentium 2s and yeah. I might put it in the leave it for another day basket, too hard basket, I don't know. Just sort of, and there's a few other things to try, I think we talked about. This is another CPU. It's probably an invalid test now too though, because I think this Windows install's kind of janked up a bit now. Yeah. Yeah. It is pretty meh, but I mean it's just another machine. It's kind of something to... No, I haven't yet. Something to play around with, something to see whether I can get it up and running. It does seem like, yeah, protection error. I think that's like busmaster / IDE driver issue. But it does seem like IDE controller issue. As you say, if I had a Promise IDE controller, that would be a really good test, wouldn't it? I've got plenty of IDE controllers for the Amiga. Yeah. It's good idea. Haven't seen one for ages. Oh, tabbing. No, locked. It just locked then. Actually, when I went to move the mouse, I don't know if it's related. Okay, let's try. Bear in mind, when I first had issues with this, I plugged in a a keyboard and mouse dedicated, you know, because I thought maybe it's KVM. Yeah, I have a serial mouse. Let's just see what happens. I didn't go in safe mode, did I? And it's... what's it doing? I don't have the Windows protection error. It's going to reset that, and I'll go in safe mode and just see whether I get any. Tabbing. Okay. Don't tell me it was the mouse. Something to do with... Little bastard. So, PS2 power issue, you reckon, Fat Pooter? So that would be some sort of issue on the motherboard, would it, where... Is that right? Yeah, you know, there's some component on the board. Could be too. That's interesting, isn't it? Bloody hell. There you go. I've got a USB mouse too, but I think you need to install stuff, don't you, to get the USB running. Well, I mean, that's better than nothing. I'll plug a serial mouse into it. I happen to have one right here. Now I want to reinstall Windows. Fresh install, because this one's, let's say, from that other machine. I guess that's okay. I need my cereal for the mouse to start with anyway. Compact flash, nice and fast. Oh, make the directory first, you dork. Must be getting tired. Funny, the very first time that I tried to install Windows on this, during that stream where I did it, it's funny that the first thing I thought was KVM switch, you know, because the keyboard had locked, you know, you couldn't tab through, and I thought bloody KVM switch, so I plugged in a PS2 keyboard and a PS2 mouse. I wonder if I just had have plugged the PS2 keyboard in, that would have identified the problem straight away and not have to have gone through this troubleshooting procedure. I enjoy going through these troubleshooting procedures. I think it's good because you learn a lot. Yeah, so at first I thought maybe the KVM, and as say plug directly in with dedicated keyboard and mouse. If only I had been lazy and thought, oh, I won't use a mouse at this stage and just see what happens. might have come across it straight away. But that's an interesting one. Yes, yeah. So, and the other thing, right? It was a telltale. It was a bloody smoking gun. Even at this stage, when you could still tab through like this, there was no mouse pointer. You couldn't move the mouse. The mouse pointer I think was there, but you couldn't move it. Yeah. So there were telltale signs right from the word go. It's always interesting troubleshooting. What's that, Windows setup? Probably not. So during the setup, yeah, there was no mouse, no point. Well, I think the pointer was there though, wasn't it? I'd have to go back and review the footage now, but it's a handy thing about streaming this sort of thing. Sometimes you can go back and go, oh, look at that. You know, especially if you're having trouble remembering what you do so many things sometimes you just forget what the hell. Well, I do anyway. When you end up doing so many troubleshooting procedures, you're kind of like, oh, have I tried that, or did I do this, or you know. Sometimes quite handy to actually document that as you go. Sometimes just jot down what you've tried, settings that you've changed and things like that, so you can put things back if you need to. That's all it was, eh? I wonder if I plug in a standalone PS2 mouse, whether it will still work. I want to try and sort of replicate this issue once I get this machine up and running. Because for all I know, it could still be the KVM. I don't know. And the curiosity gets the better of me sometimes. Why not have some hyperterminal? Phone dialer, net meeting, oh my god. VPN, why not? Yeah. It's definitely worth looking into. Personal web server? No thanks. Outlook Express. What do I call this thing? Pain in the ass? Shagged PS2 port. Let's be really inventive. P2. P2233. Can I quit that? Can I cancel there? Start up disk. I think I can actually cancel. Okay. Remove the disk. There. Okay. Yeah, I wonder if it's a fuse. I think they're like little, aren't they black looking, they almost look like a black resistor, don't they, those fuses? I can test that pretty easily. Let's have a look. Actually, I'm wondering if they are surface mount fuses by the look of this. There's a big one on the PS2, on both the PS2 ports, one each. Yeah, and it's got F3. Oh no, one's got L. L1, L2, L3. There's RN1, that's resistor network 1. And there's an F3, actually the fuse, oh no, that's diode, D5. It's hard to really identify the fuse here. It looks like all surface mount there. There's no through hole fuse as such there. Yeah, it looks like it's surface mount. Yeah, it's tiny. That resistor pack is friggin' tiny. I've got some sharp probes somewhere. I could probably measure those. And I probably need to track down the fuse. I mean, once you track down the fuse, it's easy to check, isn't it? Yeah, I've got really sharp probes. Oh, okay. All right. So more than likely it'll be the resistor pack, do you think? To be honest, I wouldn't bother fixing it. I mean, as you say, it is an LX board. There's nothing flash. But, you know, I'd probably put it aside as a spare for, like, Fat Man, if that P2L97 fell over or whatever, I could... and that board does run that Celeron 533 too, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, definitely worth looking at. No, I bought it off. Carcinomi knows the name of the company. He put me onto them. Can't remember the name of them. I used them once and that was it. I wouldn't have a problem with using them again. They were good. I think they're in the UK. Let me see if I can find them. Videogameperfection.com. It was 200 and something, was it? It's €115. So yeah, basically double it. That's with the remote and the little overlay and everything. Yeah, that's pretty good price. But then is that with the remote? Because the remote's not overly expensive, but ugh. Oh, that's I think that's just caused by what I was dicking around with before. I'll just go back. Yeah, that's sampling. God, I can hardly see it because it's the menu when it's selected is yellow and the screen's yellow. I think it's something to do with that sync. No, it's not active. No, not that one. That one. If I put it back to 640, yeah. So it doesn't like being taken out of its 640. I mean, that's its standard. I could probably see, I can move the left hand side of the screen was off a little bit. It was off to the left, and I brought it back, but then it's skewing off to the right now. Oh, I wonder where I can find this key. Thanks, Mr. Bogan. I definitely don't want to go screwing things up too much. Man, I've got a mess to tidy up. I haven't been working at home for the last 2 days. I've been in town doing an install, and so my desk is like, my workbench is kind of, oh god, yeah, I need more storage, more shelves, more everything. The garage, oh yeah, but I'm not putting shelves there. I'm just about at the point where I have to actually start getting rid of some stuff. I've got shelves, man, I've got shelves, you should see it. I'm just having a quick sort of mental, yeah. I do have an iMac that I've been thinking about just getting rid of, but because I don't think they're worth a lot of money. It's one of those all-in-one things. Not that, you know, I mean, I've had it for ages, and I booted it when I first got it, and it worked. But tempted just to pull it out because some of the other boys have been playing with Macs. I know nothing about them. Absolutely nothing. I think it's the G3. It's the all-in-one with the funky colours. I think it's like a aqua blue type colour. Put it this way, yeah, big chunky CRT thing. All I know about it is I plugged it in, turned it on, and it booted. Yeah, I know, but I don't think this one is. I think it's a common... But to be honest, getting rid of that one thing is like a drop in the ocean. Like, oh, I've created one little space to fit 2 PCs in. I mean, it's hardly even worth it. I might as well just keep it. But yeah, I'm working on trying to get rid of some stuff. Like it gets out of hand in here, and then so sort of start shuttling stuff back and forth to the garage, and probably could. So yeah, stacking. The thing is, no, I couldn't, not where it is, because at the moment it's right at the top of a shelf. And so I'd probably get I reckon I'd probably get 2 PCs in its place. Two beige boxes. But, yeah. So the garage is pretty much full. I've got a storage shed as well, and it's just crazy. I mean, I've got to start thinking about getting rid of some stuff. Oh, geez. Inventory would be a huge job on its own. I do have a bit of an inventory of my PCs, you know, the actual PCs, part of the collection. So I know what I've got. Mostly. Well, I don't think any would go to e-waste because it's all perfectly good stuff. Like, it's all too good to take to e-waste, if you know what I mean. There's none of it really that's e-wasteable. There might be the odd faulty bit here and there, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, so it is probably a matter of just deciding what needs to be sold off. Selecting what I think I wouldn't miss, if you know what I mean. But then I find myself, I watch even like Carcinomi or someone on YouTube, and they'll be dicking around with a computer. I'm like, oh, I've got one of those. Oh, you know, get all keened up on it. And I could imagine that if I saw one of those videos and thought, used to have one of those, it's just the hoarder in me, really. I guess it's just, yeah, it's a disease. Oh. Alright, it's alright. Just gave me a fright there. Just thought, oh, wiggle the mouse, see how, and then it just freezes. Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I do have to draw the line at the fact that we live in the house as well, and you know, I try and keep it confined to those areas. I find it useful, and I get joy from it. You know, they say anything that doesn't give you joy, you should just throw out, or you know, move on. Well, I've got some magazines. Not newspapers, though. Draw the line at newspapers. I guess if they're old, historic, you know. But yeah. The thing with selling, Mev, is that I'm worried that if I sell something that I'm going to go, bugger, I used to have one of those and I really want to play with it, you know. That's a hoarder instinct though, isn't it? What I want to do is get rid of the stuff that I have plenty of, you know, without sort of getting rid of so much I don't have any spares. So I really need to get rid of some Amiga 2000s, and I got 2000s and 600s and 1200s. Like I've got about bloody 4 or 5 bloody 1200s or something, and 3 to 4 max I think is about right. I mean, you've got one for your primary and another one for, oh look at that, second one as a backup, third for, you know, bits, parts maybe, whatever. Yeah, I don't like the look of that era though. Yep. Yeah. I don't like the look of that. It's like a kernel era or something. Well, I've tried 2 drives. This is the, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a good one. This is a compact flash. It's been reliable on other machines. No, I don't think it's a drive. I'll just try that again. It wants me to go in safe mode. That's almost like a driver issue, isn't it? What? Repairing system.dat. Rebuilding system registry. Sounds dodgy, doesn't it? You know what could be part of the problem is I could have put faulty RAM into it. I mean, that other piece of RAM I'm sure is fine. Let's see what happens here. I'll just try a reboot. You know, because we've identified that it's potentially not the RAM. I could have just whacked in bad RAM. I don't know. I'll try a restart. It did most of the install. I think it was just installing drivers. Yeah. Oh, don't worry about that pink. That is capture. Now it seems happy. I think I'll see how reliable it is. I know that there was a major issue during the install there, but I'm just going to see how it goes. If it starts to play up, I'll do another install. Let's pick everything up. Okay. I've got a sound card I can chuck into it. What have I got? I've got this, it's a CT4810 Creative, what is this one? It's a Vibra 16, I think. Oh, you know what I want to do now? I'm going to plug the PS2 mouse in. Watch it go kaput. Oh, it's a Vibra 128. You can't see it, but it's a flashing cursor at top left. That's it. Oh no, what's it doing? Oh, it's booting. For how long? Oh. Blue screen of death. Okay, so as a bit of a sanity check, reliability check. Yeah, isn't it? Unplug that one, put the PS2 back in, sorry, serial, and see what we get. Back in a sec. It's still upset. Maybe it didn't like me plugging that in at all. I'll go in safe mode and then reboot. Still not 100% convinced there's not something else going on with this computer, but I mean, I'm getting a hell of a lot further than what I was. This sound card, the Vibra 128, came from the recycle centre, basically where they do e-waste. I picked up that, an AGP graphics card, which is it's got munted bloody caps on it, like they're actually burst, like one of them's actually, you can see inside the cap, the top's burst open, just a little gap. And ooh, something's not 100%, is it? Yeah, I was queuing up for a bit of Half-Life actually. This is interesting, isn't it? Something actually, I might just put that other RAM, the original RAM back in, because I've not tested this RAM, whereas I have tested the other RAM, and it wasn't the RAM. Yeah, I'm just curious with this RAM, and then I'll probably will call it quits on this troubleshooting. The thing with Half-Life is I have to move this computer and set my other one up. So a bit of a pain. Right. Old RAM. Yeah, the pain will be worth it. Just looking at the time. Do I want to go through that for an hour and a half or so of Half-Life? I guess so. Is it going to want to start safe mode? Yes, it will. I'm going to do that same thing. Go back safe mode. Let's let that run. I think what I'll do, I mean, if this sort of seems to come right, that might indicate that I've now got good RAM back in the machine. Potentially this is no good, don't know. But if it starts to stabilise, I think what I'll do is I'll run the install again off stream at some stage. Because just the fact that I had that kernel issue, was it a kernel? It was a bloody registry issue. Right at the end of the install, you know, could have balked this install. Yeah, it was something like that, wasn't it? Some bloody weird error. We'll see whether this goes in. If this goes okay, well then, I'm almost suspecting that RAM, but I think it's going to blue screen again. Yeah. I think I really do need to try that install again. Just trying to think of what else could be wrong with this machine. I mean, it could be, the RAM tested fine. I've tried 2 CPUs, 2 hard drives. I've identified that the PS2 mouse port is not good, and it's only started doing this since I plugged in the PS2 mouse port. Or, you know, plugged a mouse in to that PS2 port. It's only started doing this since then. So maybe plugging something into it upsets the actual install, you know, like, I don't know. I wouldn't rule that out, put it that way. So it's almost like it might go okay as long as you don't plug any PS2 into that bloody mouse port. It might be okay, you know, for good. I don't know. That kernel issue on the install though is still a bit of a worry. So there's definitely potential for something else going on. But I think what I'll do is I'll work away at that off stream just while I'm lurking and whatnot. It's a interesting little project though, isn't it? All to try and get bloody manky old Pentium 2 running. Good for nothing Pentium 2. Yeah, good for nothing Pentium 2. Right. If I had 2 inches longer on my KVM cables, I could easily plug in my machine I want to play Half-Life 2 on. And I don't want to move all this. Trying to think of a lazy way of doing it. I kind of want to leave the Pentium 2 set up there so that I can carry on troubleshooting. I know what I can do. I can make a stack. Oh God. This is... getting out of hand here. That's easier said than done because they're all bloody tangled all through each other. It's just a mess. That is easier said than done because they are routed in behind a monitor. They're routed in behind 2 monitors. And I'm trying to think of an easy way because that would be a pain in the ass. This is an easier option. And you know what I'll do? I'll move the cables down, go through all the hassle of moving the cables down, or one of them, and then tomorrow I'll want it back up the top. So this is a easier option. Oh my God, that thing's heavy. Jeez, hope we don't have an earthquake tonight. There will be PCs strewn all over the place. Am I actually going to fit in here though? That's the other question. Got to leave room for myself. It's a bit precarious, but oh, what's wrong with your on-prem SharePoint? Oh, that, what? Hang on. I'm wondering if this, you know what? This is the bad axe, right? I had an issue, I had the same thing happen the other day and I thought, hold on, I thought I put a new battery in it. So I put another battery in it, thinking that maybe I hadn't, and so I put another one in. And it's done it again. I'm just wondering if Something's draining these batteries. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, look, it's reset 2004. Or did I? Oh, I don't know. Just trying to remember now what. Or did I put the battery in and not bother resetting? I don't know, I can't remember now. Because remember, I hadn't set the clock. Remember, I was saving games and the clock wasn't set? Thanks. So I've got some saved games that have got 2004 date stamps on them. I think everything's pretty fine to just save and go there. I will need to activate this soon. Right. It's alright, I've got it sorted now. I just have to remember, don't choose the option for the text back. It doesn't work. Yeah, res pretty low on this one. This copy of Windows is not genuine. Maybe it won't let me do anything until I... Anyway, let's see if Half-Life will run. No sound. Hopefully that's not too loud. Just going to drop the volume down here before I start the game in case it's blasting. Just let me know if the mixing needs adjusting. Yeah, see the save dates, 2004. Cheers. I think it's time to move on. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I've got to get back on the road. And I think, is it down here? I'm a little bit disorientated. There's no map either, is there? I think the sea should be to my right. I think this is potentially heading back the way I came. So this has been here, done that. Maybe I do need to just carry on that road. Sure, I just feel like I could be backtracking. Up here. No, I'm definitely going to be backtracking here, aren't I? Loading screens. This is the high. So that was the high road. Something there. Do you have it? Yeah. Definitely backtracking. Okay. I don't know. I must have missed something back at this area. Oh, what? I've been at the crane though. There are two crane areas. Yeah, now I'm confused. I'm not quite sure what I should be doing. Do I go back to the crane area? Is it? I'm happy for a bit of help just to get through this. There's the crane that puts down on the low ground, and another U operate to get back on the high ground. But I can already get to... Yeah, so I've done that already. I kind of thought that I had to have the C to my right. I feel like I'm backtracking if I go back there. Anyway, I'll do that. I did hear enemy there, but I think they're just left over from what I didn't kill. Yep. Yep. And then I carried on to here. Didn't I? Through... I did a jump out of the back of the building. To get onto the road. And it took me to that area where I just was. So I remember using that crane. I kind of just feel like I'm doing stuff again. Is that this? That's the second crane. Okay. I'm a little bit. It's a little bit disjointed for me because it's been a while since I've, you know. I do. This sort of looks familiar, but. Remember, I carried on playing for quite some time after you left in the last stream, I think, so, I don't know. Second crane, okay. Oh, well, yeah, I didn't know that. That's why I'm not using it. So there's an ammo crate on the back of the vehicle. Okay. You know what? I never knew that. I've played this game before, and I've gone right through it. I never knew that. Thanks for the tip. Oh yeah. Hang on a minute. This I'm having like bloody deja vu here. I feel like I've just done this. Like, I feel like I did this last time I was here. Have I picked up the wrong save? Yeah, I progressed. The complicating factor is that the date and time was out when I, so these will be today. There's the Raven home. So I picked up from this one 135 January the 2nd 146. Or maybe, yeah, maybe I should have picked up that save there. I don't know. I'll just save here. I mean, this is looking so familiar to me. It's like a bloody deja vu moment. Right. This is pre-jump. So I jump out the back of this building, right? Yeah. So this is, I remember this. I did this, but yeah. Right. And then, yeah, and then, oh yeah, come across, oh that's right, turbo, uh-oh. I remember doing this bit though, also. So this is kind of like before oh god. This is like going back even further. So, right on. Yeah, so there's the crane. Okay, I'll just carry on. I do feel like I'm redoing quite a bit of this, but because I remember fighting off that alien egg. Line it up before I do that. Wouldn't help, wouldn't it? Yep, I've done this. Oh, I'm going to blow myself up. just going to do manual saves here for a little bit. Oh, sorry. Save. Yeah, I am getting tired. Save. Yep. Okay. Oh, I remember those bloody things. Oh, oh. Oh no. I know you can grav gun these things. Just try and outrun them, eh? Where's he? Ha ha ha. Can I get through there? bit hairy. Yeah. Bloody spam bots. Shit, that hurt, didn't it? Down to 31 health. It does reward you quite well for exploring this game though, doesn't it? You know, it's quite generous. Right, still got 100 health here. Let's go for it. Oh. Oh, 25. Crap. Where did he come from? Yeah, I do vaguely remember this part. Oh, I think I can jump too. Oh, there's these. Oh, where did I save? Oh shit. That was a wrong move. Yeah. Up. Oh. That is so good. Oh yeah, I remember these. The old crossbow. Right, okay. Well, 32 health, I think, is probably good enough to save. Yeah, the crossbow is fun. Okay. Can I get back up to the vehicle from here? Shit. Ah, crossbow. That'll do me. Can I get up here? Now this is dangerous, isn't it? Yep, it's dangerous. Aha, okay. Okay, Mr. Zeon. Cheers, mate. Catch you later. Sand traps, so yeah, I'm going to call it there as well. Right across to Retro Demiurgy. He is playing NES games. NES. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Cheers.